Hey there, I'm Nicole Burke, the owner and founder of Rooted Garden Incorporated, a kitchen garden company based in Houston, Texas. Now, when I first moved to Houston, I had friends tell me that we had two seasons in Houston, hot and not so hot. In the first few years there, I realized that kind of felt like it was true, honestly. I mean, I was like in January, like, when will winter arrive? But once I started my kitchen garden, and especially once I started working with Rooted Garden with all of our clients, I realized we actually had 4 unique seasons in Houston, and we especially have 4 seasons inside the kitchen garden. When we arrive at consults, we often tell clients, we have 4 seasons in Houston. They're just not the 4 seasons that maybe you wish you had, but they are great seasons in the garden. In this mini video training, I want to walk you through the 4 unique garden seasons in Houston and open your eyes to the possibility of gardening in this great city. So we have an arc to our seasons. We have the coolest part of the year, which is right around January. Actually, the very start of the year is when it's the coldest. We call this the cool season. We have a pretty long cool season, but let's start with January. So we're at the cool season. It's the coolest part of the year. During this part of the year, you can still be growing loads of things in your kitchen garden in Houston. So lots of greens like kales and Swiss chard, broccoli, cauliflower, all those deep green veggies that are so good for you, they all grow throughout the winter in Houston. You can even grow sweet lettuces like butter crunch and romaine and even iceberg if you want to. Now, those sweet lettuces are a little bit more susceptible to frost damage if we do get frost. But in general, in almost all the years that we've been gardening in Houston, we haven't had much of an issue. You can also grow root crops through the winter like carrots and radishes and beets. And you can grow one of the sweetest things I love, sweet and sugar snap peas or Oregon sugar pod peas. They're all so delicious and they grow prolifically in the winter in Houston. The cool season generally lasts from before, we'll say at least January, until February, early March. Then we start what we call warm season 1. Warm season 1 really would represent the quintessential vegetable garden that you might think of, especially if you've come from another climate besides Houston's. In the warm season, we can grow things like tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers, squash, zucchini, and beans. All those quintessential vegetable garden harvests that you think of, we get to grow those beginning in March. So we grow them from March until May. And that's what we like to call warm season 1. So for the arc of our seasons, we're just starting to rise up and get warmer from March to May. These are some of the best months of gardening in Houston. Then we hit what we call the hardest part of gardening in Houston, from June to August. This is called hot season because it is H-O-T. In the hot season in Houston, this actually is kind of our most challenging time to grow. You can still grow a wide variety of things, but it's just harder. You have to watch your water and make sure that your plants don't get too hot, too much sun. Things you can grow pretty easily in the summer are okra, eggplant, hot peppers, tomatillos, sweet potatoes, and loads and loads and loads of basil. Then, after we finally survived August, we get to head to what we call warm season 2. Warm season 2 is almost a direct mirror image of warm season 1. So we're coming back down the arc. We hit the highest temperature and now we're on our way back down. Now, the one difference from warm season 1 is with warm season 1, the temperatures are gradually getting warmer and warmer. And as you can imagine, with warm season 2, they're gradually getting cooler. Not cooler and cooler, because that would be an exaggeration, but they are starting to drop off a little bit. Warm season 2, we like to say, runs from about September until November. So in this season, again, you can grow things like tomatoes and beans and peppers and cucumbers, squash, and zucchini. And you can start to grow some of the sweeter lettuces and other greens that we see in the cool season. So warm season 2 is super cool because most places in North America only get one shot at their summer garden. But in Houston, we actually get to try those quintessential garden vegetables twice a year, which is pretty cool, I think. Once we get to the end of November, we're just about in the middle again starting the cool season. So the cool season, we like to say, runs from, say, November, maybe late October, November, December, all the way back to January, February. So cool season is going to be just what we talked about at the beginning of January. You can do those great greens, root crops, and peas. So that's going to run all the way through January, February, and then we start over again. So that's the way the 4 seasons work in Houston. Instead of simply saying spring, summer, winter, fall, or fall, winter, we have cool season, warm season 1, hot season, warm season 2, and back to cool season. So we have these great 4 seasons, and you know what's so neat is that you never have to stop growing in Houston. While many other places in North America have to close down their gardens for the winter, ours is literally non-stop. But you have to time it right. In fact, what I found from my own garden in Houston and the hundreds of our Rooted Garden clients' gardens is that the timing is literally everything. It's for this reason that I created the Houston Kitchen Garden Club. This is an online membership where every single month I pop in and teach you, just like this, 3 different lessons. One is what to plant that month, one is how to tend your garden that month, and third is what to harvest that month. Because timing is everything in the Houston garden, I need to be able to get to you every single month and tell you what to do when that month comes. So I would love to invite you, if learning more about the seasons in Houston inspires you and realizing the fact that you can grow every single month in Houston makes you want to actually go for it, then I'd love to invite you to the club. Come and join us. There's over 100 members inside the Houston Kitchen Garden Club, and every single month they're getting inspired by me to know exactly what to do. No more guesswork, no more wondering, what exactly is going on in my garden? It's me and you, me coaching you through the steps, and there's at least 45 minutes of teaching every single month just for you. You can either watch by video or you can even listen to the audio while you're driving or exercising or gardening. It's the very best thing, and I would love to see you inside the nonstop Houston Kitchen Garden Club. No matter what, I hope that you feel inspired to grow in Houston. My years with Rooted Garden have taught me that Houston is one of the best places to garden in the entire country, and all of us should be growing a little bit of our own delicious organic food. So I hope you'll go for it. I hope you will set up your kitchen garden, and I hope you'll join us inside the nonstop Houston Kitchen Garden Club. You can find out more about the club on this page, and you can find out more about Rooted Garden at rootedgarden.com. If you haven't set up your kitchen garden in Houston yet, we would love to help you. It all starts with a personal garden consult, and we can get you set up with one right away. Thank you for being one of my favorite people in Houston who's bringing back the kitchen garden with me. It's such a big deal, and I really believe that the kitchen garden is good for all of us, for our bodies, for our communities, and definitely for our city. So thanks for joining me, and I'll see you inside the club.